Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks pregame show presented by Coors Light. Hope your Saturday is going as lovely as the weather is outside. Man, what a day.
It's not hyperbole. This might be the most perfect fall day that there has ever been.
It's a little sunny. A little sunny for
55, sunny. The leaves are completely changed colors, mostly on the ground. You almost welcome the little chill in the air.
I welcome the chill. It's a little cold in here, too.
Perfect.
It's nice.
Absolutely perfect. We should do this show outside.
Nate, let's go. Give us 3 minutes. We're going to set everything up outside, and we'll be right back.
Efforting.
Nate, mute my mic so I can fix my mic stand here.
Hello.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, we're talking. We're professionals.
I'm back.
It's
I'm
a
back.
pregame show.
Good sign for the Hawks.
When's
Our show's already
When's
breaking.
that new studio coming?
Soon.
Well, thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you. Do us a favor. Smash the like button for us and subscribe to our YouTube page. And remember, we're going to be on as soon as the game ends today. And by the way, if you were with us last show, we announced that our takeover would be on sale soon. Guess what?
It's on sale.
It's on sale now. Next Sunday, so a week from tomorrow, Hawks and Wild. The game's at 7, but thanks to our friends at Circus Sports, this is going to be the game day experience. We're going to meet at Fifth Third Arena at 3:30. Food, skating, locker room and facility tour. Then we're going to go from there over to the game, watch the game. It's going to be an awesome time and a really great price. $70 for the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the non-diehard price. So if you're a diehard, I think it's $55.
Yeah.
So jump in.
20% off 70.
And guess what? Our diehard deal is still going on. So if you're not a diehard yet, become one. Get your free shirt. Save $15 on your ticket to the Hawks game.
That's your $48 right there.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
That's it. You basically just took care of the entire membership fee. It's going to be a great time. So come on out and join us next Sunday, Hawks and Wild, Fifth Third Arena, then the United Center. We should say, too, if the pregame thing is not, you can't make it, that's fine. You can come to just the game, too.
Yeah.
But we wanted to present the whole game day experience for you. It's really cool. Like, we did it last year for the first time. Saw parts of we're at Fifth Third every time in our home, every day of the week.
Yeah.
And there's parts of that we had never seen before. So it's really, really cool. Go check it out. It's going to be a great time. AllCHGO.com. Navigate over to that events page. And diehards, make sure you're signed in so you can get that diehard code to save on your tickets.
Yeah. The pregame skate and meal and tour, like, it was really cool. Like you said, like, we were able to go into like the players section of the Fifth Third Arena, which was cool to see all the different decorations and the plaques and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think they had some of the trophies in the replica trophies in there too, of like the awards. Like, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely worth it. So please join us next Sunday. Thanks to our friends at Circus Sports for making it happen. More to come quickly. So stay tuned. We'll keep filling you in.
Yeah, one of 3 takeovers this year.
Absolutely. All right. Some big changes coming to the lineup today. Let's start the show by hearing from Luke Richardson. He'll update you on what's going on, and we'll give you the full line outlook before we preview this one against the LA Kings.
Lineup. Same lineup. Peter starting in net up front, and on the back end we have Phillips going in for Brody.
Hey, Brody's obviously kind of had a tough time lately. What's your message to him?
You know what? I think he's been fine, and there's just been a couple instances where he's maybe got caught in the D zone a little bit too long. But that's kind of our whole team. It's not just one player. But this is more about getting a young defenseman that had a good camp and hasn't been in yet, and it's been up and down to the American League a couple times on transactions, and just we got to get him playing. And otherwise it could be too long of a time, and then all of a sudden you have injuries and a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience behind him this year.
What do you think of Phillips' camp, and what's the message today?
Good, same. I think tonight will be a good challenge for him. He had a good camp. He was more physical and more direct, and I think that's what he's going to have to do tonight against a big, fast team in LA.
Have you noticed that some of the newcomers have acclimated to the system a little slower than others?
Not necessarily. I just think, we've had a couple bumps in games where we've come out on the short end of the stick. It could easily be the other way, but that's pro sports. We gotta make it happen, and I don't think it has anything to do with the guys. The guys that are coming in are all pretty much veteran guys, and I think they've done a pretty good job of recognizing what we're trying to do here, and we're just pushing every day to try and get more done and more results.
I know since camp you've been kind of finding different combinations for Connor. What haven't you seen, and what would you like to see more of? I
think we need to just be a little more direct team and shoot pucks. I think we've done that at times, and then at times I think we're trying to look for that perfect play. But I think tonight, getting Donato on that line makes sense. He's our top goal scorer right now, and he's been playing well this year. And just try something new, and it's always easy to go back to things that we know that it has worked, that maybe got a little stale, but it just kind of something to keep us fresh and keep us kind of thinking about our game plan, because makes you physically and verbally talk to each other on the ice and on the bench. So you're just that little bit more engaged when you make lineup changes like this.
Connor was saying that he'd like to see more traffic in front.
Well, that's Donald's a net front guy, and he's going to get goals like he got the other night in Colorado, like just rebound, scrapping away, guys knocking him down, he's still scoring a goal. So that's going to be a good recipe for Connor and Kershey to have some room to play on the outside and get shots to the net, and knowing that there's going to be a guy there most times.
Who do you have replacing him on Dickinson's line?
That's one switch with Teravainen's going to be going in there. So, we have a couple guys in warm-up tonight. Just some guys are just feeling a little bit fatigued and sore. So just in case something goes wrong, we have them in there. But that's the plan for tonight.
All right, so there's the lines on your screen. Bedard centering Kurashev and Donato. Foligno centering Hall and Bertuzzi. Dickinson between Mikheyev and Teravainen. And Reichel between Maroon and Smith. Your D pairs, Kaiser and Jones. Vlasic and Murphy. Allen and Phillips. And, of course, Peter Mrazek in goal. I know Region Rev's happy. Isaac Phillips back in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, let's start there with Brody's sitting. It's warranted. Like,
yes.
he's needed to take a seat and maybe get a reset. And I commendable for Luke to not just defer to, well, he's the veteran, so he'll play himself out of it. He clearly hasn't been able to do that. So you get Isaac Phillips in. I hope he plays well, because Nolan Allen's played well in that role. If Isaac Phillips plays well in that role, I don't know what you do with TJ Brody, because you got 2 years and a couple $1 million invested in him. But
buyout.
I mean, you want to have the expectations set, and you want to have standards that need to be met. And if guys aren't up to it, the accountability is there that someone will have to play that role. And someone, if it's not TJ Brody and it is Isaac Phillips, hey, there you go. Like, that's accountability. Is if you're not playing up to snuff, someone else is going to get an opportunity to. And that could also be happening with Teuvo Teravainen.
Yeah, look, for me, the question is, will Isaac Phillips be worse than Brody? Probably not.
At the very least, I mean, I think worst case scenario, it's a lateral move.
Right.
It's like nothing. Like, if he's worse than TJ Brody, that's a problem.
Alec Martinez can't get here faster.
But
seriously,
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
Mr. Miyagi, that injury, whatever it is,
unless Phillips has a
reference.
spectacular game, I would think Brody probably gets back in there tomorrow. With the back-to-backs.
Probably.
But you could put the rest, the theories that we had in our post-game chats and all over social media that Luke Richardson won't scratch guys with contracts. Kyle Davidson won't let him scratch TJ Brody because he got 2 years. Well, he scratched TJ Brody. He's Andreas Athanasiou has been a $4.2 million healthy scratch essentially for the entire season.
Was he played 2 games this year?
2 games.
Yeah.
Did he? I don't even remember.
Yes.
And then
He was out there with the stick and everything.
Tavo
Moved down
to the third line, but he was also being rotated with Joey Anderson
Yeah.
yesterday in practice as a little
Not
hey,
so subtle.
Tavo, it's the next step here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he scratches Tavo for a game, that definitely tells you he does not care about your contract.
No.
Accountability is a real thing. Yes, Brody probably should have been pulled out of this lineup 3 or 4 games ago, but it's happening. Ryan Donato's getting rewarded for being on a great tear. 3 goals in his last 3 games, 4 goals in his last 5 games.
What was the shooting percentage?
42.9% he's shooting.
Hell
right now.
yeah. Right,
He
that
has
heater.
6 goals on 14 shots. Totally sustainable. But put him up there. But it's not just the goals he's scoring. He's played
well.
He's played the
Yeah.
type of hockey that Luke Richardson wants the entire team to play. Go
Yes.
skate hard, go forward, get to the net, look for the dirty goals. That's how he wants this entire team to play. So put him on the top line, put him on the top power play. That's accountability is 2 ways. Yes, you get punished when you're bad, but you also get rewarded when you're good. Tavo down to the third line. Yes, Bedard and Tavo were good for a while.
Mhm.
Tavo doesn't have a point in 6 games.
That's
After having 7 points in the first 5 games. He's got no points in the last
and
6. He needs a
Bedard's
wake-up
also
call.
not lighting it up, too.
Right. So put Donato on there, who is been the best offensive player you've had the last week.
Mhm.
Put him up there. Get him skating hard, creating havoc in the zone. And then Bedard and Khrushchev can hopefully take advantage of that and see what happens. And as he said, and if it doesn't work, we just go back to what was.
They're not permanent.
No.
They're not permanent.
They're not permanent per game. They're not permanent shift to shift.
Right.
Hockey's fluid. You can change in the middle of the game, but again, he's just looking for. Here's the guy playing the exact way I want everybody to play. I'm going to make an example out of him so everybody else can follow.
Yeah, and I kind of your point. I mean, the accountability thing. You're right. Like you want to reward guys who are doing exactly what you're asking, and that's Ryan Donato. But it is a message being sent to Tavo of, hey, man, we need more. And some people in the chat are talking about, oh, you only had 5 shots on goal last game. Do you remember a single one of them? I sure as hell.
I mean, I'm
none
glad
of them
he
were
did
dangerous.
because I won Who's Your Hawk because of it.
Yeah,
I don't.
like, they
It's
were
good.
just
It's good to have that mentality, but it's more than just getting pucks on net. Like Teravainen's got to be able to facilitate a little bit more offense, and at a lot of times in the last few games, it just something isn't clicking there.
They had 33 shot attempts as a team in the 3rd period and no goals. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Shoot the puck all you want. Ryan Donato had 1 shot on goal in that game.
just do what he
and
does.
he scored.
Just score.
Yeah, that's great. 5 shots on goal. That's a really good game. None of that. They got to start scoring.
That would be helpful.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? We have every game we do our Coors Light light the lamp, and we're gonna do it now.
Today's pick is anybody.
Anyone, please,
someone
please.
score.
Is this a question? Will they light the lamp?
Will they
today?
light the lamp? I'm going to say they're going to. Our pick today for Coors Light the lamp is Taylor Hall. He's got 9 points over his last 8 games against the Kings. That's 4 goals and 5 assists. He's a guy too that could get going a little bit. I think obviously the start of the season, talking about the coming off the ACL and shaking the rust off. I think he's looked good. I'd like to see it start turning into some points. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope our prediction is correct and Taylor Hall lights the lamp. And when you're sitting back watching the game today, make sure you crack open a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light is our go-to when it is time to choose chill. And boy, we've all got a stressful week coming up. Take a deep breath, kick back and relax, choose chill. And when you do, crack open that nice icy cold Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment and the perfect complement to those moments where we must choose chill. There it is. Ah, yes.
My sound effect wasn't good enough.
Delightful. When those mountains turn blue, your Coors Light is as cold as the Rockies. So when you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and open a Coors Light. Make the most out of those times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greg, before we hit the break, you mentioned how Connor Bedard hasn't really been lighting up the score sheet either. Or that was Mario.
I said that.
Whatever. You're all the same to me.
Sure. Yep.
Jerk. 3 shot attempts in a game where the Hawks had
33
shot attempts. I mean, in one period.
Yeah.
He's got to be more aggressive shooting. It was a big part of our post-game show. I know not everybody saw it because it was at 1 a.m. I think that the expectation for Bedard every game should be double-digit shot attempts.
Yeah.
That's got to be his mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a lot of well-rounded offensive skills. Like, yes, undeniably his shot is not the only thing that is like elite level that he can provide. But I think he needs to utilize it more and think more shoot first at this stage of his career, because if you can, open up the shooting lanes, if you can get people to commit to you to try and blocking shots, like on the power play, like the firing from that left side, you saw what it did to, Alex Ovechkin and Steven Stamkos over the years, where, on a power play, you got a guy basically just standing next to those guys because it's just like, it's too effective. We're just going to shut it down and force other people to beat us. If you have that kind of reputation for Bedard, where it's just like someone has to be stuck to you at all times, sometimes 2 people at all times, because your shot is too dangerous, then it opens up the ice for the rest of your teammates. So if you become a shooting and scoring threat first and foremost, then you can tap into those playmaking skills and say, oh, I got the puck, I'm a threat to score. Now I can do a no-look pass across the ice because someone over there is wide open and they have a better opportunity to shoot. But start off with, I'm firing 7, 8, 9, 10 shots on net every game, and you guys are going to have to get in the way and commit more to me as a shooter to shut me down as a shooter, so then I can open up passing the puck to someone else.
Yeah, I mean, like as opponents scout the Hawks, and Luke talks about watching film on opponents all the time, they're seeing that lately Bedard has been deferring and trying to get the puck to other people on the power play with the empty net, whatever it might be. And so they're going to react accordingly. And yes, that shot is always a threat, and he's always going to draw a little bit of traffic, but it's not quite like it was last year, where he would have the puck and then 3 guys would just converge on him because who else is going to do it?
Right.
Now he's got options. I think he knows that. So his mindset is, well, it doesn't have to be just me, so I'm going to try to distribute to my teammates. But he's the primary weapon on this team in all situations. Power play, even strength, late in the game with an empty net. He's got to be the guy, and until they prove that they can stop him, that's got to be the mindset. Yeah. Like, I just want to see that killer instinct in him. You mentioned, Ovechkin and Stamkos, and a guy who played here, Artemi Panarin, has made a career of just blasting shots, one-timers from that left face-off circle. Get in that mindset. Yeah. And then if they start reacting that way, like you said, then you're going to have guys wide open to make plays, and you take the pass, you draw the defenders towards you, and then you pass it to a wide open Tavo or Kurashev or whoever it might be. But I really think that final sequence of the game against the Sharks, as time's running out and he's got the puck and he's just looking the pass, looking like over and over and over again. And Seth Jones had 12 shot attempts?
Something like that.
Because it almost felt like Seth Jones was saying, okay, you keep giving me the puck, so I'm just going to do it.
He's got the mentality of, we need to shoot more.
Yeah.
And he's acting on it, and he has all season, which has been good to see. We just need more of those guys, especially the top 6 guys in the forwards group, to be thinking that way of like, it's not selfish to try and score. Like, that's the point of the game, is to try and score goals more than the other team. So more aggressive with a shoot first mentality is what this team needs. And again, like, come back to shoot. Even if it's saved for a rebound, then that's another that's another opportunity for an attempt on net. It could be a deflection if you get traffic in there, or if the goalie makes a save and stops play, it's an offensive zone draw. Like, there's really no bad outcome to a shot on net. Now, if you miss the net wide and it rings around the boards and goes the other way, that's another problem. But shots on net, get traffic, and really only good things can come of that.
Yeah. Do us a favor. If you're watching us on YouTube, we got a lot of people liking, but not a lot of likes. Hit that like button for us. It is very, very helpful. Helps us become more visible to people that don't follow us on YouTube yet, and just gets us in front of more people. So please, please, please hit that like button for us and subscribe, because we've got to catch our friends at DNVR who just hit 100,000 YouTube subscribers. Nice. So we've got some work to do. They've got a significant lead.
They've had a 6-year head start.
A 6-year head start.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good.
We're closing the gap.
We're in the.
I mean, we're almost at 60. Hey, let's get to 69,000 today.
That'd be nice.
That'd be very nice.
That'd be a really nice.
Everybody
nice goal to
like
have.
69 on the weekend.
At any time. There's no bad time. There's really, really not.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah. Couple people in the chat. Someone said putting Donato on the top line is desperation. I don't know. I think it's playing the hot hand. It's Kurt. I want to give Kurt credit for the comment.
It's called putting your hottest player on the line that gets the most time. That's not desperate. That's coaching.
Well, this team is also, I wouldn't call it desperation, but they're also like, you got to have a sense of urgency of like, our offense is not going. So let's put the guy who is with, the most opportunity to play, to get on the ice and play an effective way with these other two guys, Kurashev and Bedard, that have some higher end offensive abilities to them. And you need to score more goals. You can't win. This team's not good enough to put up 2 goals and say, that's enough. Dust off the hands. That'll do it. Like, you need to score 3 and 4 goals, because as much as, Peter Mrazek has been playing well, I think like he enjoys the workload, but he still hasn't been exactly the Peter Mrazek we saw last season, where he was playing well above his expectations. I think he's been playing well, but you still need to give him more goal support. And this team plays; they play better when they are playing with the lead and not chasing a game. So you need to do things like putting Donato on the top line to try and generate more offense. I didn't think I'd be saying that at this point in the season, where Donato generates more offense, but that's the point that they're at. And hopefully that sense of urgency starts right from the first puck drop.
That'd be good. Skokes, our buddy, says, do we really need Mrazek starting this many games in a row? A guy with lingering groin injuries in the past. He was fully healthy last year. Of course, we're going to knock on wood on that. He was asked about it the other day and said he feels great. Doesn't even feel like he's played consecutive games in a row. So as long as he's not saying he needs out, then I guess play him. I don't know if you can coach, fearfully. Like, this guy might get hurt. This guy might get hurt. If he's telling you he's all right.
If you don't play guys because you're worried they're going to get hurt, you'd forfeit every game.
Right, yeah.
True.
Because guys can literally get hurt on every play.
Yeah.
It's not a great way to build your lineup. Well, I can't play him. He might get hurt.
Yeah.
Soderblom's going to start tomorrow against Anaheim, and then hopefully you get
Brossoit
back at some point soon.
A long 4 weeks.
So, I mean, he's been skating for weeks. He hasn't practiced full, but maybe,
maybe by the time they get
we don't know
home.
what he's been doing while the Hawks been on the road.
Well, he had injury and also new baby that happened. So probably both of those things coincide with each other at the time off.
Brossoit is healthy and on the roster, you'll probably see more of a rotation.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get him into some full practices when they get back.
Mrazek's played well, and man, I it's just crazy how that position has evolved, even in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
to where it's like, oh no, he's played 3 in a row. We better get him out of there. Where it used to be your number one goalie started 73 games a year.
Yeah.
And your backup would play twice a month, if that.
Carey Price would play like 70 games.
Yeah. I mean, Martin Brodeur would play, 72, 75 games a season. I mean, granted, he's one of the best to ever do it, but I mean, that was standard. Your backup goalie started 10 games a year.
If you had a legit top end starting goalie, then they'd get 60 plus games and no one would blink an eye.
You got all
what's going on over there.
I just looked up. I wanted to see how many starts a year Belfour had, and the first picture that pops up is his mugshot, which is just like the most unhinged photo of all time.
He definitely, that's not a great picture.
I just
not as bad as Gary Busey's mugshot, but
No.
it's in the team photo.
Nate, I threw it in the Slack if you want to throw it on there real quick.
He looks like a guy that definitely was
Here's
on
an,
a was
here's
on a
an inside
bender.
look at what distracts us during the show
It just
on the on the
rolled
other
the
end
hell
of
out of
these
me.
computer screens.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, Belfour, 41 starts.
Oh God.
Yeah, anyway, your
Yeah.
point is correct, Greg. 71
Yes,
games
that's,
played in 92,
yikes.
70, 50, 40.
Halloween was Thursday. Take that off.
Oh, man.
All right, I'm sorry. Eddie, your point is
That's
correct.
that's what happens when you start a goalie too many games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. All right. Anyway, all right, we've got our segments to do. We got to get to our Who's Your Hawk picks for this one. Mario, you had first pick?
I had first pick. I went with Bedard last game, and he got me half a point. So I'm going to go with the guy who last game had a big shooting mentality and is going to play more minutes than Bedard. So I'm trying to play the math game here. I'm trying to go for a more statistical advantage rather than who I should believe puts up a lot of points today. So I'm going with Seth Jones. I need to make up some ground on these two guys here. Can't win a championship early in the season, but you can definitely lose one. So I got Seth Jones. Hopefully has another 12-shot attempt tonight, afternoon, rather.
I went with Connor Bedard because anytime you don't pick first and Connor Bedard's on the board, you should probably take him.
Probably.
Yeah, play the odds. Yeah.
I'm taking the player who is better than Connor Bedard, Ryan Donato, who is just unbelievable. He's going to get that shooting percentage over 50 on the year tonight with the 4 goals and 5 shots.
I love the little Easter egg in today's show of like every time Ryan Donato pops up on our screen.
Hey, shout out
I
to
like
our new producer Nate with his
That's good.
his pop-up graphics all over the place.
It's like pop-up
nice.
video.
It's fun. It's
I miss pop-up video.
Video is the greatest.
That was fun.
That was
welcome
fun.
to pop-up CHGO. With
There you go.
That was back when MTV still had music, right?
It was
Yeah.
VH1.
That was VH1. VH1
It was
was
VH1,
pop-up.
yeah.
It was
video,
as they
yeah.
started phasing out. actual
VH1 was like
videos.
MTV for adults.
Yes.
And now I know I'm getting old. I'm like, man, I really can go for some old VH1 now.
There is
VH1
some,
still a channel.
It's still there.
Yeah, but it's all like reality TV and stuff, isn't it?
MTV went.
Now
that
you have like,
third direction.
is it Vivo? Like there's Vivo channels, and you can just watch videos like it's old school MTV. So you
Yeah.
go by era, which is
There
cool.
is, I believe there is a VH1 classic channel, which is nothing but
Okay, good.
videos.
That is still a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that would
yes.
that
I will
would be the
find
way
that.
to go.
Speaking of like being made to feel old because of music, specifically music being played at a grocery store. Like I know like every song at my local grocery store, but I really felt it when I walked into Mariano's the other night and Bound for the Floor by Local H was playing
Okay,
at a grocery store. And I was like, this is, I'm going to go down the Just for Men aisle and buy some hair dye and maybe some Geritol. And I'm just going to go home and not leave the house ever again.
Yikes. Well,
Yeah,
with that,
that's how it goes.
we're going to wrap things up. Do us a favor before we go. Hit that like button. Remember, we will be here after the game. So make sure you're on your YouTube page there. You're turning on those notifications so you know when we go live. And follow us on social media at CHGO_Blackhawks to see when we'll be on. We usually send the tweet as soon as the game ends. So we'll have it for you there. And jump in. I'm already seeing in the chat, people are buying up those tickets for the
Act fast.
takeover.
Those will not. I mean, I know
It's soon.
it's a
8 days
ploy.
away.
Tickets won't last long, but we're serious.
Well, it's in 8 days. So
That physically, but also they won't last long. Our diehards, our Blackhawk diehards, grab those tickets early. So make sure you're doing that.
I would say we usually get about 30, give or take, for a takeover,
Give or
right?
take, yeah.
I know at least 7 are gone, and we
Yeah.
just announced it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Right.
So jump in, allchgo.com, over to the events tab, and become a diehard to save on the event and get a free shirt for your troubles. All right, we'll talk to you after Hawks and Kings. Let's hope for a win. We'll talk to you then on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.